If you're an Ohio State fan, I need you to do something for me. I want you to think as far back as you can possibly think. When is the last time you've been in the middle or late third quarter, maybe early fourth quarter of a football game, and your heart has just been thumping? You had no idea. Is Ohio State going to win? Are they going to lose? You don't care. You're just screaming your head off. I think it's been a long time. In fact, I don't know if it's happened this year. Because I look back at that Texas game, and a lot of people want to say it was 14-7. I saw it as Ohio State domination and control. I really did. I mean, it's late third quarter, 14-0. Texas hasn't done anything all day. They're putting together a little bit of a drive. Do we really care if they score? Not really. Are they going to score again? No, they're not. So I just wonder. I think Texas is the last time they've really felt the buzz, at least in the beginning of the game. Like across from me, I line it up and, oh, that's what it feels like to play someone as good as me. That's what 1v1 feels like. That's what it feels like whenever someone has that type of talent, that speed, that strength that our team possesses. And they haven't done it since. They haven't been in a four-quarter brawl. They haven't been in a game where they got to fight and give everything they have in that third quarter, in that fourth quarter. And I'm not necessarily saying that it's a great thing that Michigan has, because it's been against some inferior teams, some teams you don't really want to see that against. Teams like Purdue, Northwestern, Michigan State. But at the same time, getting that experience, being in those situations, kind of like calluses you a little bit. It gives you a little bit of belief. Like, oh, they're up 14-7. They got us by 3 points. We're Michigan. We're Ohio State. We're going to go on this game-winning drive. Doesn't matter. We're us. You're you. We're better. We're going to get it done. We know we're going to get it done. What does Ohio State look like in that same situation? Have they had those calluses build up? They could. They could just be cut from that cloth. Maybe it's been built up during practice, during summer strength and conditioning. That happens all the time, but we just haven't seen it. And I look, and I think back to the Rutgers game. I look and I see no Jeremiah Smith. I see no Carnell Tate. And I'm looking at the first half. Not the Ohio State defense, because the Rutgers offense, they had nothing for them. That is a bad offense. But the Rutgers defense is not too great themselves, are they? They're especially bad defending the run. And I look back at how well they defended Ohio State in the run game in the first half. They were teeing off on them. There were tackles for loss multiple times. And the reason why is there was no Jeremiah Smith. There was no Carnell Tate to threaten them vertically. They weren't afraid. Ohio State, a lot of the time, honestly, played 12. When they did go into 11, they had David Adolph, I think that's his name, on the field. So it wasn't like a real fear. And yes, Brandon Ennis is better than everyone Rutgers has. But it wasn't like a Jeremiah Smith, Carnell Tate, we cannot possibly guard these guys type of situation. So they thought, you know what, we're a bad run defense. Let's stop Ohio State in the run game and see where that takes us. And they did it well in the first half, although yes, Ohio State had superior athletes and was still able to score. In the second half, they were completely worn down. They did not have a chance. Their guys have a fall off from the ones to the twos, and they have to rotate. If they don't, their guys are dead tired. The game is over. They got ran through in the second half. I think Ohio State had like 1.8 yards per carry or something in the first half. In the second half, it skyrocketed to 7. So they probably had 9 or 10 yards per carry in that second half. When you're playing a team like Michigan, they're going to rotate more, they're going to have more depth, and they're going to be playing extremely, extremely hard in that third quarter and in that fourth quarter because they've been there before. They've done it a couple times now. Granted, it hasn't been against Ohio State. They haven't played a team like Ohio State, at least not offensively. So I think it's fair to question, will Ohio State, if Michigan were to grab them and pull them into deep water, if Michigan doesn't fall behind early, which I think is a huge key for Michigan, you cannot let Ohio State get an early lead in this game. You have to give them that feeling of, oh no, not again. I'm a Michigan fan. I know that feeling. I felt it for several years. You're fired up for the game. Oh no, not again. It's 10-3. This game's over. I've seen this play out 100 times. You can't let Ohio State fans, you can't let Ohio State players escape that feeling. And if they don't, if Michigan can drag them into deep water, because they're not going to wait out there by themselves. This team doesn't beat themselves. You've got to make the plays. You've got to grab them by the throat and pull them into deep water. If Michigan does that, how does Ohio State respond? How do they look whenever maybe Jeremiah Smith is banged up, he's trying to go, not super effective, not striking fear into anybody. Maybe Carnell Tate warmed up but didn't play. You only got Jeremiah. He's out there, but he's not getting open. Maybe you would honestly rather have a Mylan Graham out there, but you don't. Maybe Michigan is stuffing the run game. Rutgers was able to focus on it. Why couldn't Michigan? So when we get into that situation, does Ohio State find a way? Who steps up? Who makes the plays? Is it Max Clare? Is it Brandon Ennis? Is it Mylan Graham? Is it David Adolph? I guess. So I guess that's what I'm the most curious to see. Number one, can Michigan survive the first quarter, the first half? Can they grab them and pull them into deep water? Can they turn it into a dogfight, a second half dogfight where you just got to scratch, claw, and find a way? And if they do, how does Ohio State respond? Who is the one that steps up? Who makes the play? What does it look like along the lines of scrimmage in that second half? Does Ohio State start moving backwards? Do those guys have to play more snaps than they're used to? Are those guys not used to that level of competition? Are they not used to feeling that? Is Michigan more used to it? Is Michigan bigger, stronger, faster up front? They've been getting better all year long, especially in the run game. Can they control this game against Ohio State? Can they keep it away from that offense? And can they pull Ohio State into deep water and make them find out exactly who they are? That is what I'm so curious to see in this game. What are these teams made of, and what will be the impact of Ohio State not really being tested all year long? Michigan's going to be the best team they've played, and it's going to be a long, long time since they felt anything even remotely close. Granted, pretty similar for Michigan, but I think Michigan's had to turn up the effort just a little bit more in the third quarter, in the fourth quarter. If you're an Ohio State fan, if you're a Michigan fan, don't take offense to anything I'm saying, right? We all know what I'm saying for the most part is true. I'm not meaning to insult anybody. I'm just looking for a way, a narrative, a path forward to where we find something out about Ohio State. Maybe something happens that we don't quite expect. So again, don't take offense to it. I'm going to be posting about Ohio State, Michigan all week long. I might post another video tonight. If I don't, I'll definitely be posting one in the morning. Here's my question for you. 1, why aren't you subbed to the channel? 2, why haven't you liked the video? And number 3, if Michigan is able to drag this game into that late third, into that early fourth quarter and turn it into a dogfight, will Ohio State sink or will they swim?